Okay, I want to take a little walk down memory lane right now. I want you to try to remember what you did to get your crush to acknowledge you or to date you. What you were willing to do. What you did, what you sacrificed, what you put in to get that grade. What you did to make that sporting team. What you did to go to that college. What were you willing to sacrifice to get that gift, that ultimate thing? What were you willing to sacrifice to go to that university that everybody's told you need to go to? What were you willing to pay in for that location, for you to get that dream job, that location, for even that internship, or all those little shit jobs that led to that dream job on your vision board, for your ideal salary? Do you remember the sacrifices and the efforts you made for those things that seem and were very important to you? You valued them. I want you to remember what you were willing to do at one point for that. What were you willing to do to have a baby, to find a person to have a baby with? What were you willing to do for your professional sports career? Think about all the sacrifices and the work and the effort you put in individually for your beliefs and values. Okay. Now that you've kind of gotten that into your frame of mind, now what I want you to think about, what are you willing to do or sacrifice for your life? What if it was that? All those things I listed, what if the thing we're talking about was your life? You. What would you be willing to sacrifice and do and fight for or work for? Because that's what's coming down now. That's what's at stake right now. It started with this whole flatten the curve lie, and then they threw out some numbers, a test that shouldn't even be used, basing these numbers on that test to scare you, to get you to comply, and you took the mask and you complied. Now the next thing they're going to mandate and try to force on you is the beginning of losing everything you've ever been given when you were born. Your autonomy, your medical freedom, your bodily sovereignty. They're literally attempting to set things up to take that away from you. Your essence, you. They're gonna try to take that away. That's what this whole thing has been about. So I ask you, what are you willing to do for you, to save you, to stop this? And some of you are like, what the hell are you talking about? Somebody's gonna stop it. That's what the election's for. That's what that rally is for. That's what that doctor doing the videos are for. That's why things go viral. That's why Plandemic was made. There is no doctor, rally, election, politician. There's nothing that's going to happen that's just gonna end this. And I know that some of you are thinking that and believing that, like, if I just weather this, if I just hide out, if I just keep quiet, if I don't disturb anybody, and if I just wear the mask to just comply, this will all end. It doesn't. And we need to be really open and vulnerable about that truth right now, because it doesn't. And here's what's scaring me is I don't think people realize what just wearing the mask does for the next round. Or even if you're on that, I want to get that cure they're making, because I just want this to end. It doesn't end there if you accept that. Each individual will have to draw a line. That line is going to be based on your current beliefs, values, and needs. Just like at some point in your life, you valued certain things and you did everything you could to get that. It's the same thing here. Unfortunately, the way the system is and the way we've bought in, you've lost that belief in you, you've lost what your value system is, and you've lost really truly what you feel you need. We need to find that, because it's not a global line. It's not going to work that way. The global shift in consciousness happens when each individual figures out what their line is, what they're willing to sacrifice for it, and when we all do that times billions, it stops. But it's not going to stop by a group stopping it for you. And it's not me being a dick. It's not me being, it is literally the truth. That is what has to happen. There's two things I know to be absolutely certain. One, the body is self-healing, self-regenerating. Its blueprints inside, intuitively, innately, are wired for your survival. Everything it does is for your ability to adapt to that world, no matter what comes at you. It's on your side to fight and regenerate and heal and get your awareness and get your attention, to make changes, to fight for your survival. That's what it does. That is 100% true. All of us. Number two, you are not alone. You're not alone. We each are going to have to figure out what that line is, what we're willing to sacrifice and fight for. To be totally honest, I'm so in love with this life, I will literally do anything it takes to make sure I retain it. The freedoms that I have right now over my body, my medical freedom, I am willing to do whatever it takes. Just like I did as a pro athlete, as I did as a conscientious student, as I did to try to land the crush, as I did to try to get all that, I will do it now, only harder, because this is the most critical cost. What's at stake is the most important thing you've ever imagined valuing. You gotta find that. Draw that line, figure out. Now, what does that line mean? Let me just wrap it for you. For some, as I've heard, it means homeschooling, stopping your kids going to school, homeschooling. For others, it means changing jobs. For others, it means moving a state, some moving out of the country. For others, it may mean starting a new recreational league. I don't know what that means. Some lose their license and they figure out how to adapt. I don't know. Nobody can answer that for you. That's the great part, is you get to figure this out. One, your body already knows the answer. Two, you're not alone. So figure this out, because they are not stopping. They're not gonna stop. The election's not gonna stop it. They're gonna roll in with force, and they're gonna come strong with it, because there's too much money behind it and their plan is too grandiose. It's been in play for the last tens and tens and tens of years, when we were supposed to be doing the work to prepare for events like this. 30 years ago, it'd be nice. 20 years ago, sure. 10 years ago. Right now, you have to do all that work. And it's overwhelming and it's scary. Hell yeah, that's the challenge. The body's up to it. Our spirits are up to it. Our essence, that's what makes us human, is we can adapt. That's what we do. Best is we adapt. You're not alone. The body adapts. Done. You just got to figure out what you believe in again. They are not going to stop until we don't get back to normal, until every raindrop, every bug, every human, every comic book character, an unborn child, every daydream is vaccinated. Will we get back to normal? And this second wave will get your attention. You know what though? Our second wave will get their attention, and our third wave, and our fourth. We got just as many waves as they do. Know that. Trust that. It's on you. You, the individual. Do the work for you. You figure out what you're willing to sacrifice and give up, what you're willing to fight for. Times a billion, we save the globe. That's how it works. Time to rise up.